What is up, everyone? It's Jonathan here, and I'm going to do a broadcast style for the BRC Racing Championship, and we're at Martinsville in the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Series. 45-minute race. I'm gonna say this. I really want to get back and doing broadcasting stuff. Not like I'm gonna be able to do some real life, but I feel like I want to enjoy, have some fun. Apparently, and also this helps me focus up on racing again a little bit, and not worrying about extra things. I can do this at my pace, right? Do recording stuff and also, doing regular racing for myself. Anyways, here we go. 45 minutes. Yes, to see the lap counter keep changing. I know what the lap is for the white flag in my head. So here we go. Kyle Carpenter on the pole. Green flag. We're racing at Martinsville. Into turn number one. Carpenter gets a good jump on the start. David will jump into second. And Kyle Cleveland to third. David try to look to the outside. Can't do it because it's a little loose off turn number 4. That allows him to lose a little bit of gap to Carpenter, but throws into turn number 1. Back out to turn number 2 off back straightaway. Loses that gap again. Now falls in the clutches of Kyle Cleveland. Now even off turn number 4. Got Carpenter, got David, got Kyle Cleveland, and Jonathan Orndorff in the top 4. Mitchell in 5th. Things are already settled up on lap number 4 already. Kyle Carpenter's pulled away a little bit from David in 25. Oh, a little over half a second. Got the group of 3 right here. It's Kyle on the 24. And in 4th, Jonathan Orndorff in that Mountain Dew. In 20. And you got Mitchell still hanging in this kind of, I guess you want to say, 5-car pack here. Isn't that number 78? Ooh, catches the wall off too a little bit. Very easy to do it with this car. It doesn't necessarily get tight, just the car likes to drift. You want to make sure that you get a good launch off the turn. Sometimes you tend to let the car drift. It gets loose too. Putting that power down maybe a little too soon. Generally doesn't get too tight. It depends how much you really push in the throttle, how early you push on the throttle. You can drive a push into it. But right now, looks like Jonathan Orndorff's falling off that pack of 3 in front of him. And allowing Mitchell to catch up to him. Right now, still the same. David is caught back up to Kyle Carpenter, but looks like he's not in pass yet, or attempted to pass. Right now, Jonathan and Mitchell are falling off the front three here. It looks like Mitchell is close to passing Jonathan for the fourth position. Jonathan goes up wide, and it looks like he's going to let. We'll let Mitchell go by. Take that fourth position over. Jonathan will finish, or Jonathan will be in fifth position. Got Caleb in the 2. Let's go back to these guys here in 6th and 7th here, kind of in their little pack here. Caleb in the 2 and Alex Reno in the 22. 6th and 7th. Go back up to the leaders here. Got Carpenter still leading. David in 2nd, hanging right to the bumper. Calcum's kind of fallen off a little bit off in this pack, but still in the realm of able to catch back up and eventually make a pass. Right now, 17 laps into the race, and we have Carpenter, David, and Kyle Cleveland, the 1, 2, 3, and single file. Pretty much for the most part throughout this race. So right now, so far, it's just kind of spread out just a little bit between each of the cars in the top 3. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell's starting to pull away a little bit from Jonathan Orndorff in that 20. Actually looks like Kyle Carpenter is pulling away just a little bit from David in the 25, though. David drives in deep into turn 3, pulls up that gap again. Kind of a cat and mouse game. How much do you want to use your tires up? How much do you want to save? How much do you push ahead, trying to get that gap? It's one thing about Martinsville. You can really use and abuse your tires just because you don't necessarily know how far to push the tires. The tires don't necessarily give way until they're worn out. As soon as they're worn out, that's it. Then you know you're done. But really, you just don't know how far to push it. You kind of guess, and especially being a leader. Jonathan was leading the race last week at Concord, and he was trying to do that cat and mouse, trying to save tires while leading, and he did not save enough. Lost that race due to just over pushing his tires at the end of the race or throughout the race. So kind of a cat and mouse game when it comes to that, but it depends on who you want to let the person be the rabbit, if you will. Is that how it goes? So these three are kind of in this group, kind of saying single file. Go back to Mitchell. He's slowly starting to pull away from Jonathan Orndorff here. Maybe might make that gap up between the front 3. And Jonathan in that 5th position. Go check out Alex and Caleb. They're falling way off. In fact, they're about to go a lap down. You can see it. Whoa. Alex going way wide into the marbles there. He is in that 6th position, and Caleb in 7th, but the leaders are approaching them. We'll see if they can maintain that gap, or will Carpenter close in that fast? We'll see. Now he's running the fur line, kind of runs low, a little bit off the turn. Way kind of does an arc through 3. And it looked like the 2 of Caleb has gone a lap down already. And now it looks like to a better screenshot here. Yep, here comes the leaders on the 22 of Alex Reno. I'm going to put him a lap down. And Alex goes a lap down, allows Carpenter, David, and now there goes Kyle leaving by 4 to put him, or to go past him. And I say put him lap down, just go past him, and to stay with the pack in front of him. So now Alex and Caleb are the only 2 1 lap down. We'll check on Mitchell. He is definitely pulled away from Jonathan Orndorff this point in time. Remember, there is generally not supposed to be pit stops. Okay, we'll say that. Some tracks will have to allow you to at least get some fuel, but there are no tire changes. There are no new sets of tires on pit road, so you got what you got. So that's why I'm talking about saving tires. Is you gotta make them last. If you don't, well, oh well. It's all I can say is see you next week. But right now, Mitchell in that 4th position. Kind of looks like he's semi staying with them. We'll see what the gap is. It's 6.1 right now. We'll see what that changes. 6.3 just kind of changed there. It comes back around the ticker. Changed a little bit there. 6.0, 6.3. So I would say he's still losing time. Not a lot of time, but he's losing still time to them. Same as Jonathan. He's now 9 seconds back, which kind of puts him in that realm of going a lap down himself if he's not careful. Do roughly about 18 seconds around this place, so he's about a half a lap down. Jonathan could be potentially trying to save tires, but by doing that, he is also putting himself in a position where he's could go a lap down as he's approaching the lap down vehicles of Caleb and Alex. Goes Jonathan by Caleb. But he is now 10 seconds behind the leaders, which is pretty close, I would say. Don't see him in the picture yet, but we're pretty close to going a lap down. Let's head back up to the leaders right here. They're coming out turn number 4. They're still all together. You got Kyle Carpenter, David, and the Kyle Cleveland. 1, 2, 3. Been this way since the beginning. We're on lap 47. As right now, doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to try to pass one another, which, if you really think about it, what's the point, right? Because, again, it's not like you have any pit strategies. You're not going to have to stop for fuel. They'll have enough fuel to make this race. And you're going to save tires. So the best thing is just pace off the guy in front of you, all right? Because it's better off doing that than trying to, okay, let me try to go for the lead now, and then what? Now you gotta try to pace yourself, and then hope you're not really burning up your stuff. And then that's another thing. Like, this right here is better than what Jonathan did last week. He had about roughly a second and a half ahead of Kyle Cleveland, and doing so, he probably could have shrunk that to about half a second and probably been a lot safer. Or better yet, he could have just given up the lead and allowed Kyle to do all the pushing. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing. In some cases, save the tires, not put so much heat on them. And even at Martinsville, you're doing a lot of damage, at least to the right rear anyways. Not getting so loose. As they will go around Caleb again, put him a second lap down. Gets out just a little bit of a gap there, but David closes that right back in the turns. Let's go on board with Kyle Carpenter and see how he's getting through the turns here. Nice and smooth, not really turning on that wheel that hard. Letting the car kind of pick a set in the turn. Enough brake as possible to get slowed down, but then gets it rotated and turned off the turn, so it will try to get too tight, and then you won't try to spin it out. Got a little loose off forward there. As they approach Alex Reno, and we'll put him on second lap down as well. We'll spread out now between first, second, and third. There's a little ball car length gap between each of them. One person I'm kind of searching for here on the screen, have not quite seen yet, is Jonathan Orndorff. He's about 12 seconds behind, and actually, let's go back up. Looks like that gap between Mitchell and Orndorff has gotten tighter. About 9.8, 9.7, 12.3, so maybe he was pushing a little bit, but it looks like now he's starting to settle back down again. Maybe you start realizing, oh, he's gonna go a lap down. You might as well start pushing. Maybe just to maintain with Mitchell. Right now, they've done 61 laps, round laps. Well, Jonathan's on lap 61. Go back to the leaders. They're on lap 62, coming to lap 63. It looks to the inside, peeked the nose there, but couldn't get it. But it looks like Carpenter is someone slowing down in the center, maybe getting a little bit loose off the turn. Maybe David decided, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's try to make some kind of maybe attempt to pass. Since we're getting close to, I think we're close to almost halfway in this race. But it's like Carpenter's found something and has pulled that gap again. As the leaders are about to approach Caleb once again and put him 3 laps down. What I'm going to do here, just kind of let you take in the sounds of the race. I'll be right back. Right back. Alrighty, on lap 73, Kyle Carpenter is still leading the race. David second, Kyle Cleveland third. And let's look at the kind of big picture here as check on Mitchell, who's in fourth. He's about a half lap down himself. Just gone around Alex Reno at 22. Look at Jonathan. I wonder if he's going into turn number 2 or into 2 off 2 on the back straightaway. Question is, where's the leaders? Right there. You can see him now. Right now, Orndorff is in the screen. So that means he can go a lap down here any minute now. If Jonathan goes a lap down, there will only be four cars on the lead lap. And that would be Kyle Carpenter, David, Kyle Cleveland, and Mitchell. 4 on the lead lap. If Jonathan goes a lap down. Which are probably no caution here anytime soon, he probably will go a lap down. Right now, it's been the Kyle Carpenter show. As he's led 78 laps. To lap 80 here. As now, we've got some, we're gonna have an issue here a little bit, maybe. We'll see. As Jonathan is running up on the 22 of Alex Reno and the 2 of Caleb, and though Jonathan's faster than them, not quite faster than a leader, so oh man, this is gonna be a pickle for the leaders to get through. Let's see. Jonathan gets cleared by Caleb easily there. A little loose off 2. Now trying to get past Alex before the leaders get to him. Make it a little bit easier for the leaders to get by. And Jonathan getting loose squirrely off turn number 4. Trying to get by as fast as he can. Comes down a little bit. Here comes Jonathan to the inside. And will clear Alex. And Alex will let the leaders go by again for another lap. Jonathan's trying to stay on the lead lap as best he could too. I mean, if they can spin, if one of the, if Alex or Caleb spins out, or one in the front 3 spin out, that would be helpful for him to stay in the lead lap. But looks like he's gonna go a lap down. The man have time. Ooh, Jonathan loose again off 4. Just digging, trying to get any speed out of that car. And he gets loose going in, and it's going to allow and Jonathan goes way wide, allowing everyone to go by. But looks like Jonathan was going to let him go eventually, but I think the car told him, no, you're going to let him go now because he's got loose going into the turn, washed up the track, and unfortunately put Kyle Carpenter in a bad position there. I don't think Jonathan meant that, just he was going to probably wait a little longer in a better position, but again, the car, it decided for him. But now Jonathan is 1 lap down and only having 4 cars on the lead lap. Next up is Mitchell, who is off turn number 2. And if we go back to the leaders, well, they're going to 3. Mitchell is just, I think, 4. Let's see again. He's going into 1 as they're just, so he's close by. So Mitchell could go a lap down. There's Jonathan in the background there. Maybe hoping to stay with the leaders in case Mitchell goes lap down, and then they can battle for that position. Get the lucky dog if Mitchell does go a lap down. Once again, the front 3 has not changed since the beginning of the race. A little action just trying to get past some lap vehicles here. There's Mitchell going into 1 as the leaders are coming out of 4, so it's very close of happening again, or happening for Mitchell to go lap down. They don't want to be the front 3 on the lead lap. Be really hopeful for our caution right now. Let's the 25 here, and let's go on board with the 25 here. See how he's doing in the car, what the car's doing in a sense of how much he's turning a lot into that wheel, and woo, right in there trying to put him on a lap down. He was putting a lot of wheel trying to get the turn. You can see the rotors just glowing red. It's almost using a lot more brake than you think. For these kind of cars, you think you wouldn't have to use a lot of brake because of the tires width, but you're using a lot of brake. Right now, just kind of hanging in there. Going a little shallow into the turn, but still seems to be working for him. As we'll move on to Kyle and see how Kyle is doing here behind the first and second. To what is our camera is with the gyro cam. How about that? So far, Kyle just hanging right there. He's probably is trying to save tires as best he can. Still, but I would say we're getting pretty close to the end here. My ticker says we have got 11 minutes, but I would say add a few minutes to that. I would say it says we've got about 34 laps to go on the ticker. Again, add a few laps to that. All right, now, Kyle gets underneath David here. Finally, looks like we're going for a position for second. David made a little mistake off two, side by side. Down into turn number one. David trying to use the outside to get a better advantage. Not quite. David drag races. That's allowing Carpenter to get by away from these two. Trying to get a better run. Kyle slings it. Trying to get to the power off into the inside. And Kyle Cleveland will take over second. It only took 106 laps, but no, here comes, David looked like back to the inside. Took a fake Kyle to see if he was going to take second back over again. Does not, but it took 106 laps, and finally we had a first pass for the top three since then. Now let's see if the front these two can run back down Kyle Carpenter. And boy, guess who's in the picture again? Is Mitchell, who could be going a lap down here. Will make three people on drivers on the lead lap. Put that out sometime. Do a quick rundown here. Kyle Carpenter leading, Kyle Cleveland second, David third, Mitchell fourth, Jonathan in fifth, Alex sixth, and Caleb in seventh. Get by Alex. Mitchell gets by Alex. And now Alex about to get put down another lap. They'll putting 3 laps down. It says 3 laps now. Changes in 2 to 3. I think he'll go 3 laps down here. I think it's anticipating him going a lap down again. No, it says 3 now. For me, he's going down 4. Ticker's weird. It's from Race Labs, so oddball. But either way, he's gonna go down another lap here. As he goes, whoo, goes way wide there. Almost gets in a wall. Crosses down and allows the other 2 to go by. I guess, yeah. Had enough gap to do that. These guys are starting to slowly catch Mitchell. There is Carpenter right there, and there's Mitchell right there in the middle. 3 and 4. Starting to see the tails wag a little bit, so they're starting to get looser, which means they're pushing a little bit harder now. You see those kind of cars fishtail a little bit. As you can see, the Carpenter gets a little loose. There's Kyle Cleveland getting loose, and David just a little bit of tail happy off in these turns. So it kind of just means that they're pushing a little bit harder now. As there is Mitchell getting so close, getting a lap down. There's Caleb going another lap down. Real quick, let's just check on Orndorff again, because remember, right now he's in a lucky dog candidate position. But if Mitchell goes a lap down, then he won't be in that position to get it. Jonathan's doing everything he can to push to, one, not go another lap down. We'll see how it goes here. Close to the round. Oh, there goes Alex. Alex goes around. And that is going to bring out the caution for the first time in the race. You saw it there right in front of Jonathan Orndorff. He gets sideways and spins out off turn number 4. And that will bring out the caution. Look out. Oh, man, he almost backed into David there. Doesn't look like he made any contact, but Alex Reno goes around and brings up the first caution in this race at Martinsville. Which means also Jonathan Orndorff will get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. So, got lucky there. Again, no reason to pit. You have no tires, so they're going to have to wait for a new race before you get a new set of tires. Go to Jonathan Orndorff as he'll get that lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. Should get the one to go here next time by. So this shakes things up just a little bit, because now these guys get a chance to cool the tires down and see if they can make one last shot at Carpenter for the win. As you can see, everyone kind of, you see them going down there. What they're doing is generally trying to keep the tires cool. They get out of the heat of the rubber. So there goes Kyle Cleveland. I think we're coming to the one to go. Yep, I believe that's what's going on. He's just getting lined up already. Yep, one to go here. Excuse me. At Martinsville. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Pace cars off, getting ready to go back to green. And green flag, we're racing again. Great launch by Carpenter into turn number 1. Kyle Cleveland is able to slip into that second position. David into third. And now Mitchell fourth. Jonathan back on the lead lap for that fifth. Well, I'm trying to get that fourth position from Mitchell. Right now, looks like everyone's pretty much back to where they were before. Now, because it's at the end, now you can push hard. We're roughly down to about 3 minutes or so in the race. Again, don't worry about that counter. It will fluctuate all the time. I know what the laps are, so as Carpenter comes to the line once again. Up 129. We do about 18 seconds around here, so definitely we got more than this laps left. Carpenter still leads. Kyle Cleveland second. David third. Mitchell fourth. Jonathan now staying with Mitchell in fifth. Jump back to Mitchell in the 78 and Jonathan Onder in the 20. Not quite fast enough to stay with that front three. But Jonathan trying to do his best to close in on Mitchell. Really slings it in there until Mitchell gets loose. Here comes Orndorff off turn number 2. It's close to him. Now Jonathan backs off a little bit, tries to diamond the corner, gets a huge run off turn number 4. Mitchell protects the bottom, make sure Orndorff does not get to the inside. Jonathan swings wide once again, gets a huge run off turn number 2, right to the bumper. Down the back straightaway they go. Jonathan cuts to the outside. It's probably the only good racing we've seen right now so far. Jonathan cuts to out to the outside, trying to make the pass on the outside. Almost there, can't do it. Gets in the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul with these cars. Back into turn number 3 they go. Nothing gets that diamond effect. Gets a little loose off turn number 4, but hangs on to it. Still close to his bumper. But we're getting close to the white flag here. As Jonathan does it once again, gets a good cross, but Mitchell parks it to the bottom. So he can't get to the inside. Jonathan goes wide into turn number 1, gets a little too wide, and is going to slip up the track a little bit and give that distance back again. Tries to run him back down into turn number 3. Closes the gap a little bit. As we're getting closer to the finish right here. We'll get back to the leaders as that battle continues on. Into 3 and 4. We still have one more lap before the white, I believe. As here comes. This is the coming to the white flag right here. That was the white flag. I think Barney just waved it a little later than it's supposed to. Actually, this is the checker flag, I believe. I can't see. Yes, it is. As that again, time races. I'm sorry, they suck because Barney does not wave the checker white flag the way it's supposed to. But Kyle Carpenter wins the race. Kyle Clinton second. David third. Mitchell holds off Jonathan Owen for the 4th position. Jonathan is 5th. Alex 6th. And Caleb is 7th. The only, like I said, that's the only problem about time races because Barney the flagman does not wave the flag like it's supposed to. And I knew what the lap times were, but I was kind of hoping he would help me a little bit. Well, once again, he fails. But anyways, congrats to Kyle Carpenter for winning at Martinsville and the BRC iRacing League. And if you did enjoy this race, make sure to hit that like button if you're new to this channel and want to see more broadcasts. Consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you for the next one.